All right, everybody, we're going to look at 1.6 now. This is exponents, and we're going to have to do a little bit of a different process here. So let me jump over to Desmos. Let me delete what I already have in here because I was practicing it earlier. So we're going to be typing this in, and I'm just going to remind you of a couple of the things. But there's one other big issue we need to deal with. So first things first, 2 to the third, 5 to the third, or 2 to the fifth, 5 to the third. Here we go. 2 to the fifth. Now remember, to type raised, you can either use this button right here, or you can do 2 and then shift 6, which is the little caret symbol. And then we're going to do 5 and then 5 raised to the third. Parentheses, x squared y to the fourth. So this is where it gets different. I don't want to use x and y because the system is going to try to graph that if I put x and y. So we're going to use a and b instead. We're going to use a squared b to the fourth. Oh, and then raised to the 1/2. Now remember, again, 1/2, I just do 1/2 or 1 divided by 2 using the calculator buttons. And we're going to say, yes, add sliders for all. And what that's going to do, it's going to give me a place where I can tell the calculator what I want a and b to equal. So I'm just going to do a is 2, b is 5. And that's just, I just choose numbers randomly. The only numbers I'd say not to choose are going to be 0 or 1 because they won't really work usually. So we told it to do 2 and 5. And then I'm going to go through and type the answer choices. So we have 400, and then it's a b squared. Notice I'm replacing again with a and b. Okay, so I get 20,000, which is almost there. It's 1 0 off, so that's not the answer. So we'll jump down to our next one. 3,000 xy to the third. Let's just jump in here and change it. 3,000 a b to the third. Notice it's just easy if you just change what you already typed. It's a little easier to do that. Not correct. 750,000, 200,000, not the same. 4,000 a b squared. And there we go. Same value in our answer. So that's the answer for the first one. 4,000 xy squared. So now we'll jump down and we're going to talk about this one real quick. So one thing we need to know right off the bat is that we cannot have negative exponents in our answer. That is not allowed in mathematics, which is why we need to simplify this. So a and b are automatically eliminated, which is nice. We only have to check 2 answers. So we are going to type this in first. So we're going to go back over here. I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to leave these sliders and I'm just going to cut this and I'm going to type my new expression there because I'm still going to use a and b. So we go parentheses ab raised to the -5th power. So notice it's still using these 2. And that's fine. That's great. That's super helpful because we don't have to redo that whole process again. And then we go down and we start here because we know negative exponents don't work. So x divided by y to the 5th. A divided by b to the 5th. Okay, not the same. So process of elimination says it's got to be this one, but let's go ahead and do it anyway. 1 divided by, so let's go here. Let's just change this. I'll just click in here and go 1 instead of a. 1 divided by a to the 5th, b to the 5th. And there we see that is the same as the original right there. And so that means that that is my correct response. All right, so the rest of these are more or less the same. Remember, you cannot have negative exponents. So like in number 3, you wouldn't use part D. Yeah, these are all going to be very similar. I will do another video on number 5, but you can definitely do 3 and 4 with what I've just given you now. And so stay tuned for a video over that last problem.